Yo, what is going on, guys? Coach Crackle here, and we're back with the second part, at least of this Junkertown video and everything. Because in the last one, as you saw, we went over bruh on one shot and just basic tracer information, showing at least what I mean by hard cover, which I'll go again for the tank now. Because a lot of the times when I say, okay, tanks need to hug corners, hug walls, so you're not giving up position, you're not giving up too much position, right? You know, as Sigma here, we're going to have to give space versus the Reinhardt, as we saw in the last video, but we shouldn't have to give up so much space where we pretty much just lose, meterage, like important meterage. Like if we go too far away from a corner and they pretty much push it around the corner, right? We just need to be able to hug corners, look at the backline, peel just a little bit, not peel, just kind of annoy people here. So there's going to be a pretty early example too, of something, and even something that's going to be funny as well, which I know at least. Hold on, let me just skip this ahead here. So here, okay, Sigma, yo, chill. So whenever I'm talking about, because I was talking with, at least in the past, last season, one of our leagues that we performed in, about hard cover, and they're like, well, what do you mean whenever we say hug corners, or how tight I should be holding something? Because there's little instances where I'm like, okay, well, this out here, like, that's too far, right? And we'll see that in just a second. On Sigma as well right here, we just got to be set up, maybe putting our shield right here, and just kind of to see, like, all right, what will happen, maybe putting a shield right here. Like, what do they have? Just scouting just a little bit, and then just kind of making our way down into this corner. I always like holding this corner. It's just, it's really just trusty, I guess. You can contest the point. You have pretty decent sightlines if you just poke over here. You can poke out the back line. You can bounce projectiles just slightly to poke behind Ryan's shield. You can poke above here, you know, above Ryan's shield, up and over. So the biggest thing, yeah, you will just be taking pretty much like free swings and everything, which is going to be which is kind of sucky and stuff, but at least you'd be able to spam out the backline. Ryan, if he's swinging at you, isn't blocking the backline. So it's just kind of an instance of trusting your supports and everything. So let's get right into it, as it's going to be 3 seconds left, because there's something just immediately that just, it's like right out the gate right here. Okay. We're waiting. We're kind of like hovering out in the open right here, waiting for them to just kind of come to us. And I think we meet them like right here or something. But look how we're just pushing ourselves in. We're floating ourselves in instead of just hugging right around this corner. Or we're pushing ourselves in instead of just going upstairs and pre-rotating. But right now, honestly, I'd rather just have you poke and be the threat and being a nuisance right here, because we're just kind of looking out in the middle of the open. Do we get a pick here? I actually kind of forget. I know I just saw this, but it's like, yeah, we're leaving the corner. Like, where's our tank? Where's our tank right now? Right now, our tank is in Narnia. So whenever I'm like, hold corners, you're giving up space. We need our Sigma right here, trusting that our backline, be like, okay, yes, Forge dies. Our Zenyatta dies. Unfortunate, right? But why is it that at least causes, it feels like we need to go into the back like this? We can do that exact same thing from this distance. There's no threat right now. There's no threat of our tank whatsoever. It sucks that Zenyatta died, right? But we did get 2 opening picks. We got a couple opening picks. All right, from our Widowmaker, if we go back just a little bit.
Ready for that.
Yeah, at least we got a pick onto the soldier, which is the biggest thing. So it's not like it's going to be the biggest spam in the world. Yeah, so Mercy's dead, Soldier's dead. Soldier's going to be coming back. So why is it that we go out over here and have this long journey? Because we're right here and then just kind of meandered all the way over. So again, we just have to stop the cart, be a turret for the most part. Whenever I talk to my other tank so far, yeah, whenever I talk to my other tank, you know, it's just, you have to be a turret. It's boring as hell, but you are the bodyguard right now, and we can stop the point right here. But now, because we gave up this point, we have to reset Up here, we can stop. We can kind of tag the point, because we can touch it, right? We can touch the payload as it's coming over here for being up, or at least being on high ground. And if need be, if worse comes to worse, we can set up right back here, playing this corner, or set up right here, bouncing projectiles off the wall. Right? Remember, we have bouncy projectiles. Look at the soldier. Look at the soldier. Like, I know, like, I understand here too, like, our tracer, I think, do, finish up, but we could be poking out other people besides just the tank. Elsewhere, look elsewhere. Like, the cart's just pushing right now. Yeah, so again, so now that we gave up this choke, now we have to set up back here. It's not like it's not like the worst thing in the world if we keep resetting onto this bridge and then backing up, keep resetting, or keep reset onto this high ground and then back up, right? Like, it's not the worst thing in the world, but just look how much progress they got within that time limit, when really all we could be sitting here right now at the same time. Because this is such a good choke to hold, and it's really tough, especially if we have decent sight lines too. Like, I'd say, honestly, at this point, we gave just enough space, you know, for better, quote-unquote, sight lines, but we could have wasted an extra minute. Like, yeah, it's going to get here eventually, but I didn't want the eventually to be now, because we're missing just that frontline presence. Like, now this is if we're playing this low ground, yeah, this is going to be pretty decent. We can hold this corner, but we just need to hold something, because so far, again, it's been 1 minute, and we gave up a lot of space already. We're in disadvantageous position here, where we could be shooting at least just slightly higher, negating the travel distance. Instead of having to shoot up, we can just shoot over, or we can shoot out over here. And we're just forcing small things. We need to rotate. We need to set back up. We're AFK currently. Because again, we can just be right back up here. We can go here. Oh, okay, they're coming in. And then boom. Once they drop from the high ground and get to the payload, you're already set up on the corner. It's fine. Close fade. You did your job. So, what I'm going to say, we have to hold the corner. There's going to be a couple of things here, too. One, we pretty much hear the Ryan rotating. We forced out more fade. We see at least the positions of the enemy team, so they're going to have to take a little bit. Yeah, he can sprint and GA and stuff like that. But the biggest thing, we hear Reinhardt. At least we should be able to hear the Reinhardt clunking his way up, which means, yeah, so we can set it, forget it, just a little bit until we rotate behind this corner. Because now, by the time the Rhine drops, he's behind us. Which is dangerous. The Rhine could have charged us out in the middle of the open, too. So, like, you kind of get the... Which is exactly what he was trying to do. Which is exactly what he was trying to do, too. Look at that. So, you barely missed... You know, this Reinhardt barely missed the charge. But it's something that shouldn't even have happened. Now, with this... What you are doing is pretty much ineffective. The shield's fine, I guess, but we could retract it right now, right? Because at least we made it to the corner. If whoever's playing out in the open, like our Zen, that's on them if they die. Our Ana, if they peek down main randomly, that's on them if they die right now. You gotta at least give a warning, hey, I'm dropping shield 3, 2, 1, or at least dropping shield, and then you retract it. Just some call out, right? Because now, for us, we're safe. And again... We're out of the way. We can bounce our shots off of this wall behind the Reinhardt shield. And again, that creates the, like, kind of like what I was talking about with the Tracer VOD, where you want to split attention, split off angles. It's not going to stop the Ryan from turning, right? Unless he really just cares so much about taking random spam from you. But it at least kind of gets that thought, okay, well, I'm getting poked out now. Red, if they push in, are going to get poked out now. Right? The more... If the soldier pushes in, they're going to get poked out, because then at least we're getting the the random spam from this angle right here, and it'll pop right here. Right behind the shield, and we're behind cover. It's like Junkrat, where you can just kind of stay behind shield and behind cover, you know, and just keep spamming, and then keep spamming, and keep spamming. Because we could be getting Flux this fight. Let's see what happens. But right now, we're bursting down a shield. It's not really, again, it's not really the greatest idea. You do retract it. Ryan pushes in, and we hold corner. Hold. Tighter. No. Tighter. Right here. Because the biggest reason I'm saying this is if you hold it, you have to trust your team right now. This is where the trust comes in, where you can kind of give a little bit of your HP. You have a good shield. You have a good shield marking, and what is it? Hard cover, right? You have a couple instances of hard cover. You have your Zen that can hurt the Reinhardt. Widowmaker is right here, who can hurt the Reinhardt. You have Ana right here as well. If they were back over, say if they were back over like here as they were rotating, you'd be able to have a little bit more effectiveness, right? So again, look at the off angle. Even if they swing on you right here, you have multiple sources of damage that would burst this Reinhardt down. If you have Rock as well, even better. Rock, you know, there's Discord right there. They have, I mean, what is a Mercy Moira going to do against this amount of burst down? They don't have Suzu. They don't have Immortality. Hell, they don't even have decent defensive ultimates like Beat, Tranquility, right? Nano. So this Ryan's pretty much screwed if you're looking at it. But instead of holding the corner where we should be right here, right? We're backing up and giving space right here. And we're most likely going to end up right here, which means the cart is going to push right before the capture point. That's not good right now. We're scared. There are decisions. I think I gave the general, like, okay, you know, as Sigma, as Poke, you want to give that little bit of space. If you're a Rissy, you want to give the space outside of the swing range of Reinhardt. On Control, you can easily do that because you're just pivoting around the point. On Escort, you can't really do that. It's playing a really good, like, it's playing a balancing act with your HP. Knowing when to give up a little bit of space, because right now, let's see, Reinhardt, force Reinhardt out. But yeah, I honestly would have just acted as bait. I really would have just acted as bait right now, because then even if we're over here, we can poke out just a little bit. Maybe send the Rock over to Ghost Goddess, right? Yeah, look how much space, and then we keep backing. Oh, that's just the Flux, and now we're still playing out in the middle of the open. This is also bad target priority too. Why are we so focused on a Reinhardt that had resources when that Reinhardt just left their supports behind? It's kind of like what I was talking about with Bruh in the last video, where we're just looking at the Reinhardt, we don't even see the supports, right? We could be having a pincering act right now, right? So we are playing here, give a little space, but then in this instance, Ryan's throwing. They charged in. Ryan's throwing, which means now Bruh can get in here, which means you can get in here. And now this risk, this high risk play of Bruh going right in the middle of Main Street trying to capitalize, it doesn't matter as long as you're the big beefy target. Yeah, they may kill Bruh, but they would also die. Reinhardt has to rotate, and they rotate by walking through this building, right? So at least in that downtime of Reinhardt rotating, we can kill their backline. But we're so focused on the tank 1v1. We are so focused on the tank 1v1 that it's crazy how much we're missing out on this slight opportunity right now. Look at the beam. Look who's right there and then gets disconnected. Again, the decision making, like I was talking about at least with Bruh. So, okay, we see Ryan in. This is more than just the tank 1v1. That means the backline's open. But now we're set up right here where it's like, yeah, it's super safe, but it's too passive. At least here still, we could be holding it down on the front line. We need to hold these crates. Yeah, retract your shield, hold these crates. Spam this angle right now. Like, we're just like randomly walking. We're just randomly floating a lot of the time. Like, we started out here, then we kind of made it over here, and now we're kind of floating out here, and maybe we'll float over here too when Ryan pushes us. Fuck it. Right here. The cart would never be in this situation. Or, since, again, fuck the Ryan, even if he's swinging on you, you do kind of have Forge, who, again, out in the open, not the best positioning, but we're not talking about them right now. Or an LOS of Ana, at least, right? We have Tranquility. We can trust our supports. Spam out the backline. Trust your DPS. You know, trust the Widowmaker specifically, too, who's, honestly, despite the shield, can just poke out the Reinhardt. Ana can poke out the Reinhardt. Forge can poke out the Reinhardt and keep you guys up. We have the resources. We have a shield, and we have the Sigma Flux. Sorry, the Sigma E, Kinetic Grasp. Right? So we could just hold this. Oh shit, a little too much damage. Okay, and I need to contest a little. Then we can make it right here. Right behind cart. Because there's the hard cover. In case we need to dip just a little bit further, we can play right here. Because it's behind hard cover. And we can still contest. Not around here, I'm talking about right here. Because then we can play on this backside, literally. And then just bounce between. And then we could just bounce between playing that and that. Oh shit, okay, Reinhardt's backing off, which means we go in just a little bit. Maybe up onto here, but then once they back the fuck up, unless, you know, we just clean up, then we can go in up here. But let's, for the sake of hypothetical, let's say they just are not confident in fighting this right now. Okay, then we jump right back here. But again, it's all behind cover. It's all behind cover. Even here, because you have this wall. Or even this doorway. So then you can come back and rotate right here. I know it's a long sightline and stuff like that, but it's still an option. I always love showing all the options of paths and stuff, no matter how unpractical, you know. Because we need to understand path and we need to understand the maps. And again, just to reiterate, you're not losing space. You're contesting the payload, you're hiding behind cover, so you're not eating up resources. So let's see what happens where you go. Now we're kind of to the right. And again, in this instance, we can just kind of poke. We can spam out. Oh shit. Oh, they're in a tiny room, actually, you know? Also just mechanics. I think you're just trying to body block, but we definitely could have gotten the Mercy there, so I'm not going to harp on that too much. It's unfortunate. Yeah, so again, we're in that hypothetical, actually. We're in that hypothetical that I said, okay, you know, just to clean up. We can hold this corner right here. Let's see if you push up. Nope. Yeah. There's a tank coming back, yes. There's no DPS right now. At least from the time being, right? At least for the time being, there's no DPS. Throw a shield out, force out this Mercy. Poke this Mercy. Does Moira have Fade? Moira has Fade. We can poke out Mercy, you know, maybe send in a couple doo-doo, and then look at the Moira doo-doo. You know, try and force out GA, try to force out Mercy, you know, just primary, right? It's 2 shots, which is why I'm doing that. It's making that sound. Moira no Fade, okay. Now we just either rock and then primary the Moira even more, or we keep forcing out the Mercy. You know, there's options here. Oh shit, there's a Reinhardt charging, which means now we can kind of play a little bit back. Poke out the Ryan, poke out the Ryan, poke out the Ryan. Okay, he's moving forward. Poke out the Ryan, poke out that Ryan, poke out the Ryan. You know, force resources, force his HP down, force his shield, force his shield, force his shield. Because then by the time you get to this position, half his shield is gone, majority of his shield is gone, whatever the instance may be, if he's hard shielding or not. You know, you're forcing the Ryan to make a decision of wasting his shield or his HP. Right? That's where giving space for the Reinhardt on Escort comes in. Right? This is where that rotation comes in. Oh shit, okay, he is coming over here. If he's up there, okay, keep poking, keep poking. He's dropping, okay, he's walking towards you, and now at this point, you could go right back, spam the wall. Doom, 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 doom. Oh shit, you know, just fucking him up because it lifts your primary lifts your primary lifts enemies because it's a black hole that you're sending out there and shit. You know, But yeah, but right now, AFK. We could be building towards Flux. We could be building towards Flux right now. We could be building towards Flux. The supports don't give a shit. They're holding their ultimates. We know they're holding their ultimates, or at least, you know, if we're ult tracking and stuff, we know. We haven't seen Valk in a while. We haven't seen Coalescence in a while. It's been a few fights, a minute 11. We know they have ultimates this late in the game. Which is also the key thing, too. Say you're poking out the Mercy, and they pop Valk here, too? You know, or we poke out both of the supports, and they pop both support ultimates. You know, these are all hypotheticals that we just don't understand. And we're at 50% too for Flux. We're at 52%, so with this, getting both of them, poking them down, oh, the Reinhardt's coming in, we could be sitting around about 75 to 80% by the time we're done poking them out. Oh shit, Rein's coming over. We could be sitting about 85 to 90 now at this point, so it's only going to be a couple primaries or some shit when they get about here, right? And I know I'm exaggerating stuff, but it's all these little numbers and stuff like that, you know, just positioning, uptime. We could be building faster to another ultimate right now, but we're just kind of sitting AFK and stuff like that. So I think in this scrim, I was trying to get you guys to talk a little bit more and stuff. So there's probably some slight autopiloting, which is why I love recording after the fact, and immediately after this map, I'm like, all right, I already know exactly what I'm going to be doing here and talking about. Because this map specifically is a prime example of how much space we just give up, how much downtime we actually have. So it's a lot here, because now we're on the back foot, just slightly. We're on the back foot reacting, because again, we had some positioning. We had some position right here, right? We did default kind of here, but then we kind of floated out over here, and then we floated here looking, trying to poke, and then we floated right back here like, oh shit, they're already at this corner, which means now we have to make our way back. It's so inefficient. We out here drawing dicks right now with our pathing. Dude, I don't want to see a dick on the map. I want to see you playing a corner right now. Oh shoot, at the objective camera. I need to unbind that. I need to unbind that. That happens a lot. Yeah, spam the wall, 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 wall. And we're giving space. Trust your team. You have Transcendence. 82% Bender is close to a nano. Trust your team. You can farm nano right now. With this positioning, after just spamming out, okay, eat a couple Rein swings. Where's your Ana right now? Ana's peeking right here on the top, right behind you, which means with this 82%, the few Rein swings, we have nano. So before we have to use Transcendence, we built up that nano, which means now we have the go button, and just to, again, hold this fucking space. Maybe poke out the Rhine a little bit more, poke out the enemy team, because now a nanoed Sigma here, all the attention's going to be on you here, which means it's going to be an open sightline for your Zen, open sightline now for your Tracer, open sightlines here for your Widowmaker, because all the attention is on this nanoed Sig. We have to take care of the Sig, guys. We got to melt the Sig, but you're maybe shielding. You know, you're shielding down man, you're kind of dancing a little bit right here. Maybe throw down your shield just to shield dance slightly from the back line, or you're just playing your cover, spamming and stuff. You know, you're getting aggressive and everything. Walk through the Rhine, maybe playing on top of the payload here, just slightly. Just like there's just options here. But look at the back line. Look at the back line. Good rock. Oh, it's a yep rock I've ever seen. Look at the back line. 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 You can force that. You can force more. Force more. Screw the Rhine. Screw the Rhine right now. Call the Rhine. You know, actually, do you have rock? You're gonna have rock. Let's see. Yeah, honestly, this Reinhardt is just kind of like controlling where you go. He's corralling you right now. He really is corralling you right now, because he pushes in and you're like, oh, right? Trying to get out of the wave. You don't want to get Rein swung, right? Like I was harping on control and stuff. So you're trying to negate as much poke from this Rein swing. The Rein comes out over here. Hold up. Rein pushed in here and you backed away from your corner. And then the Rhine pushes up over here, and you backed away from that other corner, from this wall. He is corralling the hell out of you. Where he pushes in, okay, maybe I'll just play right here. And then if he does end up going around, look at that. I can go right back. Because there's a Moira, there's a Mercy, there's a soldier that's up here. Will your backline be exposed too? Yes. But can you at least turn your ass around and reach the Reinhardt that's back there? Also, yes. You have the range compared to him. If he's going around, right, you can still rock from distance. You can still poke from distance. We need a big beefy body, a big beefy boy right here just to sit their ass on point. Because we don't have that right now. We should. But we're really trying to clash with this Reinhardt. Like, look, like, they made the weirdest pathing mistake too. Right? This Reinhardt went in, up and around, and now they're coming right back on the point, right? Our Tracer's got it. Our Tracer is poking the hell out of this Reinhardt that's out of position. Because they're prowling over on this right side. They're prowling over here. You know, I guess, I know that doesn't really matter, but it could at least help, you know, stop the the Reaper or whatever. But, you know, overall, I like Bruh being on this side over here because they're just, this entire backline pretty much would be open. And it's forcing this Rein to go back because he ate so much poke damage. Again, from you, if you're here, this Rein would have to either shield you and the rest of the team, or the Tracer. Or the Tracer, right? Wherever they are. So if they're backing up, right? If they're Reinhardt exactly like this, and you're just chilling, and they keep backing, trying to shield away, then all Tracer has to do is blink over here, and then again, still caught out. Either they shield you, or they shield the Tracer. Power of off angles and hard cover. The power of off angles and hard cover. Alright, let's see what happens next here. We're so lost. We're gonna look at the top down. Look at this. Look at this right now. We're gonna take it a couple back. Unfortunate bacon goes down, however. Look how out in the open. This is what I was staring at. Because I love going to third person and something, but this is just what I was staring at right now. Look at all that cart push. Look at that cart push right now. We have 25 seconds left. This is so holdable. And again, I'm sorry to, like, I apologize to Bruh, and even in the last video too, you know, I'm sorry Hatter to rave about this, but this is so important. And to Ace and Darb and everything, I know you guys have a little bit better as well, because I've harped on you guys a lot, just going hard cover, corners. You're giving space, and it took one of these videos, you know, where we could just be here. The cart would then just stay over here this entire time. But we're so distracted on this Reinhardt right now that we went from being out in the open, pathed here, we kind of went over here, oh shit, Reinhardt's even more behind, and then we end up somehow in our own backline. So the cart goes from over here to now being right in front of the payload, or right in front of where we need to go. Or the capture point, sorry. I'm getting all my words mixed up. No shield, no cooldowns. I know they're dying and everything, but oh man. Look at the Moira, 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 look at the Moira. They put us on the back foot, we're panicked. It literally was just one fight territory. This is where we could be using the Flux too. I didn't think the Flux before. I know at least I don't think I gave the disclaimer at the beginning of this video, but at the beginning of the last video, I said I wasn't gonna go too in depth with like some super micro stuff. But this Flux right here, I don't think was good. I don't think this was a good Flux whatsoever. We're still focused on the tank matchup. We have 13 seconds left, which means this literally is one fight territory. We need to just kind of stabilize a little bit. Recharge our shield, and again, play cover. We can play behind here, we can play just poking here and just kind of jiggling, you know, stopping the payload, and then once overtime hits, we flux the point. to Sig 9. Hopefully, at least give some time for Zen to come back with Transcendence, because this is when they decided Transcendence and go right in here. You know, it could have stalled just a little bit more, just a little bit more. But again, stop focusing on the tank matchup here. I know it's... man, I sounded pissed right there. Damn. Yeah, super holdable. Super holdable. That was not the expected result. I don't know if I have to go too in depth here as well. This is kind of where I stopped the last video too, but let me get into a couple of fights just to see kind of at least just small decisions. Here, let's see. Actually, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I actually don't mind it. I actually don't mind it. Biggest thing now at this point, this would have to be the farthest. At least that's what I would recommend, because then at least we can just set up right back onto high ground and poke in case we need to drop. We can drop because there's a wall here to our right using payload as cover, and then we should have our Ana right behind us, right? And then we should have Forge, our Zenyatta, set up right over here, so we can still kind of poke. We can kind of, again, poke over here. I meant heal as well. We can heal you, or we can have our Zen as well playing back here. So I just think for this instance to negate as much poke, I know Forge gets super aggressive too, which is why I recommended this right here. But this would be also the safer, you know, low risk, and you get about the same amount of reward. And this is kind of like the high risk but high reward, because then you can just, I mean, you can kill Mercy, you can kill Moira, even from heal, you can kill Mercy, you can kill Moira, you can kill the discorded soldier. So we ourselves as Sigma just have to play behind here, because remember, we can poke, we have range. We don't have to waste our shield. We have nature's shield. Devs gave hard cover for a reason here, but now we're just kind of caught out just a little bit. Yeah, again, looking top down. This is going to be the last example I'm going to show before I end it off here of just, again, weren't set up. We're lost just a little bit. We're pushed up right here in front of the payload. Shield breaks, which means then we have to back up. We are getting sucked by Moira, and then after putting up our shield, we think we escape a little bit, but then we show up here trying to rock the Reaper, but then we die because of the poke from down below from the soldier. The whole time, just play behind cover here. Oh no, I'm getting pushed on or something by, I mean, by, sounds lame, but I'm getting pushed on by Moira or something, or a soldier, you know, pocketed soldier. So, okay, I might have to play a little bit safer. What's safer? Right here on this corner. Right here on this corner. And then I don't know why Ana's over here. You know, they had a good position back here. The instance when I don't watch them, right? They had decent positioning right here, because then they can heal you. They can call out the Reaper. And honestly, I think this is one of the reasons too why I think the Zen here, to get off topic a little bit, since I know you know, I know you guys watch this, Creamy Biscuits, I know you guys watch this and stuff. So Forge could have been safe, or at least let known, hey, there's a Reaper behind you. But our Ana is right now in front. Yeah, so I am not loving this right here. I am really not loving this. Right now, we can do the exact same thing. We can poke out, we can poke out, we can poke out with these sight lines. We can call the flank and everything. Sigma right here. You can also just kind of check the flank up here. You have sight lines down main. You can bounce your projectiles off of the payload and stuff, or off of this wall, or launch them into the room where the Moira is. Zenyatta. This is going to be the final thing as well. The Zenyatta can play this cover exactly where they were. They were out in the open, which is why it was such an easy flank onto here. Knowing this as well, I think I would prefer the Zenyatta slightly take an aggressive angle and then come back after getting poked out just a little bit. Or just starting here, right? No, we're going to be ending here either way. So, I don't know why I just made a dollar sign with the Z. But yeah, I'm really liking this, because then it gives the distance for you to react to this Reaper. Bacon, after dying to the Reaper, says, hey, Reaper coming up left. Reaper coming up the stairs. Reaper coming to the stairs. You know, we need to call this. This is an example of what's something we need to call. But we get caught out because we're out in the middle of no man's land, so we die to Reaper. Ana's pushed up, so we're not able to react in time to the Reaper. We don't even know Reaper's there, first of all. and Hatter goes on an adventure trying to peel in the end from the Reaper, when all they have to do is hold a corner, be the front line for once. So with that being said, again, I know this one was shorter, a lot shorter than Bruz. So the Tracer one, it's literally just pathing. I know I kind of kept reiterating and stuff like that. And here too, we have to hold these corners, be confident, and trust our support so we can hold these corners forever and know when to give space here. Because on Escort specifically too, it just seemed like we didn't really know when to back up or or how far to back up. So at least here I'm hoping I can show some examples of, okay, like corner, you know, wall, or even the floor up here after we reset, you know, just things to hold, you know. So if you enjoyed this video, if you found it interesting, want to be caught up on any future VOD reviews, be sure to subscribe and like this video, comment down below. I guess just any fundamental help if you're just getting into it, or you have some specific questions and stuff. So I'd love to help out any new players just wanting to get a little bit better, right? So I've been Coach Crackle, and I'll see you guys next time.